Before you scroll past this video, take a moment and listen carefully. Something unusual is happening in West Africa, and it goes far beyond headlines, rumors, or online excitement. In recent days, reports and speculation have begun circulating about Burkina Faso's leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, allegedly taking steps that many interpret as preparation for a wider regional confrontation, with Nigeria unexpectedly at the center of the conversation. This is not a confirmed military deployment. This is not an announcement of war. But it is a situation that has caught the attention of analysts, diplomats, and observers who understand how quickly narratives can turn into pressure. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand why these reports are spreading, what they really mean, and why the name Nnamdi Kanu keeps appearing at the heart of a much larger geopolitical discussion. Over the past week, images and reports have circulated showing Burkina Faso's government distributing thousands of motorbikes to security and auxiliary forces. Officially, these motorbikes are said to be part of domestic security and mobility efforts, aimed at improving response times and internal stability. That explanation, on its own, is not unusual. Many governments across Africa use motorbikes for patrols, logistics, and rural security operations. However, what has raised eyebrows is how quickly these images were linked, by commentators and online political communities, to Nigeria and to the ongoing Nnamdi Kanu appeal process. Some narratives claim that these motorbikes symbolize readiness, coordination, or even warning signals directed beyond Burkina Faso's borders. Whether or not those interpretations are accurate, their existence alone tells us something important. Regional tension is being imagined, discussed, and amplified in ways that governments cannot ignore. Adding fuel to the speculation is the belief, held by some online commentators, that Burkina Faso's leadership is responding to broader geopolitical encouragement, including alleged signals from powerful international figures. One name that repeatedly surfaces in these discussions is Donald Trump. To be clear, there is no official confirmation that Trump has instructed any African leader to prepare military action. But politics is not driven only by official statements. It is also driven by perception, symbolism, and alignment. In the minds of many observers, Trump represents a more confrontational approach to global politics, one that prioritizes pressure over diplomacy. Whether accurate or not, that perception influences how people interpret events on the ground. When motorbikes are distributed, when speeches emphasize sovereignty and resistance, and when silence replaces clarification, narratives begin to form. And at the center of those narratives is Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu's case has long ceased to be a purely Nigerian legal matter. Over the years, it has evolved into a symbol, for supporters, of resistance and injustice, for critics, of separatism and national security risk. Now, with the appeal process underway, the case has re-entered a sensitive phase. Appeals reopen records, revive international scrutiny, and force institutions to defend past decisions with legal precision rather than political messaging. This is why the timing matters. As the appeal progresses, every development is being watched not just by Nigerians, but by regional actors and international observers. Any sign of pressure, diplomatic, legal, or rhetorical, becomes magnified. That is the environment in which the Burkina Faso motorbike story is being interpreted. Some analysts argue that what we are seeing is not preparation for conflict, but preparation for leverage. In geopolitics, visibility itself is a tool. A show of readiness can be designed not to act, but to be seen. It sends a message without crossing legal or diplomatic red lines. If that is the case here, then the story is less about invasion and more about signaling displeasure with how certain issues are being handled. Others take a more cautious view. They warn that social media has a habit of connecting unrelated events into dramatic narratives that feel convincing but lack grounding. According to this view, the danger is not in what Burkina Faso is doing, but in how quickly misinformation can escalate tensions and force governments into defensive postures. Nigeria, for its part, remains officially silent on these interpretations. There has been no acknowledgement of any foreign monitoring of Kanu's appeal beyond standard diplomatic observation. And that silence itself is being read in different ways, by supporters as avoidance, by critics as restraint. This is where the story becomes less about bikes or individuals, and more about systems. In West Africa today, several governments are redefining their relationship with power, sovereignty, and external influence. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have all emphasized resistance to external pressure and a reassertion of national control. Nigeria, meanwhile, continues to position itself as a regional stabilizer with strong institutional continuity. When these different political philosophies collide around a highly emotional case like Nnamdi Kanu's, speculation thrives. Some commentators believe that even the idea of foreign interest in the appeal could influence outcomes indirectly. Courts are meant to operate independently, but they do not exist in a vacuum. Judges are aware of international optics. Governments are aware of diplomatic consequences. And regional stability always lurks in the background of sensitive rulings. Others argue that this narrative overstates the influence of external actors and underestimates Nigeria's institutional resilience. According to this view, the appeal will rise or fall strictly on legal arguments, not on noise from social media or symbolic gestures abroad. So where does the truth lie? At this moment, it lies somewhere between confirmed fact and strategic storytelling. What is confirmed is that Burkina Faso has increased visible security logistics. What is confirmed is that Nnamdi Kanu's appeal has revived international attention. What is not confirmed is any plan for cross-border military involvement or enforcement. But politics often moves ahead of confirmation. The real question is not whether Burkina Faso is sending anyone to Nigeria. The real question is why so many people believe that the Nnamdi Kanu case has reached a point where regional power dynamics might even be discussed in this way. That belief alone reflects deep distrust, unresolved grievances, and a sense that normal legal processes are no longer seen as sufficient. And that should concern everyone. Because when legal systems lose public confidence, narratives become weapons. Speculation becomes pressure. And pressure can lead to decisions made for stability rather than justice. As the appeal continues, every development will be interpreted through this charged atmosphere. A delay will be seen as strategy. A ruling will be read as alignment. Silence will be read as calculation. For Nigerians watching this unfold, the issue goes beyond whether they support or oppose Nnamdi Kanu. It touches on something deeper. Whether justice can operate calmly in a climate where every move is politicized, regionalized, and internationalized. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think these reports reflect genuine regional concern, or are they the product of online amplification and political imagination? Should foreign interest in a domestic court case be seen as protection, pressure, or provocation? And do you believe the appeal process will be allowed to conclude strictly on legal grounds, or will politics inevitably shape the outcome? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep it respectful, but be honest. If you value clear, fact-based analysis that separates confirmed developments from speculation, without fear-mongering or propaganda, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. This story is evolving fast, and when the next legal or political signal appears, context will matter more than ever.